This is the little house that I've been renovating for a year and a half now. Well, actually a little bit more than that. I'm more or less done with the downstairs and now I'm tackling the attic. I insulated the attic last winter, then I put it on hold to do other things and now I'm back at it. I have plastered the walls, I'm getting ready to paint. But as always, I don't stick to the plan. So instead of finishing up painting in this episode, I will instead start to tear out the floor. More on that in a bit. I was gonna say that for anyone that's been in my basement, you'd know that it's quite the mess. This is something I would want to fix as well eventually, but not now. Fix what? I'm gonna start painting. I'm actually not done plastering the entire space. So I'm gonna paint 1/3 and basically it's just because I'm so excited to start painting. But it's also because I want to know how far the paint goes. So when I'm going into town tomorrow, I could pick up some more paint if, well, I'm gonna need to. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. It's just a foundation coat, but still super exciting. That went pretty quick. Yeah, it already looks so much brighter and bigger. Quite excited. Something I did start to think about when I was painting is, I don't know why I didn't mention it in a previous video, but I'm gonna have to take up the floor because it's kind of sagging in one part and the other part is, yeah, I'm gonna show this at a later stage. But then I was thinking it's probably not such a good idea to like finish everything in here and then tear out the floor because then I'm gonna wreck the walls probably. I mean, I wanted to get the plasterboards up because they were on the floor, so there was no way to remove the floor without putting the plasterboards in place, but now I'm a little bit like, I don't want to have freshly painted walls with a bunch of dents in them, so maybe it's good to just do the foundation all over, do the floor. I don't know, I'm gonna think about that. Now it's quite late in the evening, so I am gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna tell you more about the floor and show you what I mean. Found some garbage, even flooded, like the entire field that is on the other side. So quite crazy, and I guess that's all the snow that has been, and it's now melted, so it's yeah, pretty wild. There's usually no water there, so that's all flooded. The best thing about not getting your garden winter ready is getting to do gardening in January. I've known all the time that it's really uneven, and it kind of slopes in the middle here. I also realize now actually that it's really uneven here as well. So 3 or 4 centimeters there. But yeah, the worst part is here. I'm gonna try and show just how even it is in the middle, because that's like the worst bit. Approximately here. It's quite a lot, and this is just, you know, one. No bubble inside, no. I'm gonna take up the floor. I I want to do it and try and save the floor as well as possible because I'm hoping it could be used for something else. So as I was thinking about the other day, this could have been done before plastering the walls. I wasn't thinking that far. But when I helped my friend tear up her floor, I realized like, okay, this is actually quite a rough story. And also, yeah, putting the two together, I thought, no, I'm just gonna pause the painting and the plastering and sanding because I don't want to wreck the walls. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started with the floor. I actually ordered a new floor. I've been looking for reused ones, but it's really hard to find like matching ones. It's hard to find reused floors altogether, probably because it's so hard to take them out. But instead I'm gonna see if I can get this floor out and yeah, save that for something else. Who knows what, because it's nice floorboards. Well, not really, but and they're all in mismatched pieces. Some short boards. This is an old chimney that used to come up here and down into the kitchen. This is where you would come up to the attic before I moved the stairs. I'm really quite curious what it looks like under here because there's been an old chimney for another fireplace in the kitchen. So yeah, let's open it up. I have anticipated finding some dead animals under this floor, and yeah, just found the first one. Ow! It's just a skeleton, basically. I am absolutely knackered now, but I feel like I have to deal with the stuff that I threw out the window. So, I'm just gonna have to do it. Day 2 of taking out the floor. That went so much quicker than I thought today. So yeah, it's all out, little details left, and a bunch of cleaning, obviously. But first I'm definitely gonna have some lunch. I posted the floor on Marketplace because I wanted to see if anyone was interested in buying it, and someone messaged me. And yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure if they're gonna get it, but I'm gonna call them now and see what they're saying. Ja. Ja, men ni är välkomna förbi. Yay, they're gonna come look at it later this afternoon, and yeah, they weren't sure. I said it was in a pretty bad shape, so we'll see if they're gonna take it or not. So yeah, I hope so. It would be nice to get rid of it, and it would be nice if it like if someone can use it again, that would be fantastic. So yeah, let's hope so. I did sell the floor. It was a really nice couple that picked it up, and they were going to put it into a little house that they were renovating. So really glad that it's coming to use, and I'm also very happy that I don't have to store it anywhere because I just simply don't have space for it. Exciting! I'm so excited. Yay. Classic. I ran out of battery and I borrowed this with a fully charged battery but with no charger. So now I either have to do it by hand or wait. I'm not a big fan of waiting, so here we go. Never mind. I might as well put my energy on something else more important than that. Bit. Oh yes. So you got that? Oh my. Ah. Yeah, that was tough. It's pretty heavy getting those joists up through the window. They're 5 meters. And yeah, today I'm by myself, so there's no one down below the window pushing. Last night I was too tired to be working with this, but I did so anyway. I noticed that there's like nothing to attach the joists to. I thought that there would be like a big joist like kind of behind this wood, but there isn't. So I'm gonna have to do like a little solution that I think is gonna be alright. It's gonna be a bit more work, but yeah, what to do. I can't really attach the floor joists to air, so, well, it's not air, but it's like 2 centimeters of wood, so I need to build up on that a bit. So yeah, that should be fun. there's a tiny nail in the way, so I can't cut it in place. I need to fix that. That's me wrapping up for the day. This is actually quite hard work, I gotta say. I'm feeling it. My body is feeling it. It's going a bit slower than I want. It's always like that. But I'm hoping I can start to actually put the floor in next weekend maybe. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting. See you in the next one.